In this video today, I'm going to give you my full review of the brand new Adidas Codechaos 21 golf shoes. Now, I'm going to tell you how they fit, how they feel, and most importantly, how they actually perform out on the golf course. The original version of the Codechaos was probably my favourite golf shoes of 2020. So the 2021 Primeblue versions have got a lot to live up to. And certainly in terms of the looks, they are not holding back. So these shoes probably won't be for everyone, but I've got a feeling they're going to be for a lot of people out there. I think it's important to talk about the sizing first with these shoes, because if you are thinking about buying a pair of these, not only have I included the links down below in the description, but also you're going to want to make sure you get that right, because that has such an effect on how these golf shoes feel. Now, for me personally, I found that I actually had to go up half a size with these shoes. Now, it is a close call. I've seen some people are absolutely fine with going true to size with these shoes. I decided to go half a size bigger, and personally, I'm glad I did. So before we talk about how these shoes actually performed out on the golf course and how well the grip works, spoiler alert, these are some seriously grippy spikeless golf shoes. We're gonna take a quick look at the upper and design of these shoes. I'm gonna let you know how waterproof they are, and I'm gonna tell you how they fit and feel. The original version of the Codechaos had a very bold, striking look, and the brand new 2021 version has really doubled down on that. Adidas are using their Primeblue upper for this range of golf shoes, and that's been made in association with a company called Ocean Parlay. Now, what that means is that 50% of the materials used in this upper has been made from recycled ocean plastic. So in terms of sustainability, that is great news, and I think it's going to be something you're going to see a lot more with Adidas golf shoes. The Prime Knit upper is soft there, and it has got a good amount of flexibility to it as well, so you don't really get any creasing in the toe box area. It's not necessarily the softest knitted upper in the world, but I can kind of understand that when you think about the materials that are being used to make this pair of shoes. Now, a lot of people are going to want to know how waterproof is this upper. And first of all, I can say that the knitted material is 100% waterproof. You can see here that I put a whole litre of water purely on this upper material here, and no water got through whatsoever. However, with these shoes, there is a big caveat to that. And it's, to be honest, similar with a lot of golf shoes out on the market, in that if you actually then pour water over the tongue and laces area, then they will let water through. So you can see here that 300 millilitres of water went over the upper and the tongue area, and certainly my feet got a bit wet. And that actually rings true with a lot of stories that I've heard with people using these shoes, is that if you use them out on the golf course in heavy rain, or even if you're looking for your golf ball in heavy, thick, wet rough, then your feet might get a little bit wet with these shoes. However, if you're only using these on really dry days, or even if there's just a little bit of dew in the morning, then you should be absolutely fine. Now, if you are finding this video helpful, then make sure you smash that like button. I said it in my first look video of these shoes, and I still believe it now, in that I think these actually look a little bit more like a pair of basketball shoes rather than a pair of golf shoes. But certainly this layered pattern here that you've got, where you've got a couple of bits of material there layered on top of each other, give this kind of wave look, which kind of makes sense when you think about it, given the link to Ocean Parlay. And again, you've got that on the inside there. You've also got, as you can see here, this soft, squishy Adidas logo there on the side, and you've got a little one on the heel as well. For me, I really like the looks of these shoes. They come in 4 different color options, and I think there's something there for most people, so long as you like the silhouette of these shoes. If you don't, then actually, I think you can still pick up the previous version of the Codechaos on the Adidas website as well. Both are retailing for £130. The tongue is quite thin, actually. There's not too much padding to that tongue there, but it is nice and wide, and it is very comfortable across the top of your feet. And again, in terms of the padding, you've got this quite soft material there. One thing that you might have noticed though, and it's a little bit of a gripe with these shoes, is that this tongue and heel area is a nightmare to keep clean. Now, unless you want to be constantly spraying them with some kind of protective material like Crep Protect or Rejuvenator, then these are gonna get pretty dirty pretty quickly. You can see here that just from using these out on the course, this kind of material here has got pretty filthy. Underfoot, the comfort of these shoes is fantastic, to be honest. You've got a full-length Boost midsole foam being used there, and it really is nice and soft and squishy. So if you're the type of person that wants to have some of the most comfortable golf shoes to walk 18 holes in, then you're definitely going to want to consider these shoes, because they are extremely comfortable underfoot. There's not much else out on the market at the moment that will rival this in terms of that soft, squishy underfoot feeling. Another thing I did just want to mention with the fit of these shoes and the Boost material, and that's actually how they broke in and molded to my feet. Now, the more that I wore them, the more that I noticed actually that the arch is a little bit more raised on these shoes compared to other golf shoes that I've tried before. Not to the point that it caused me pain. I've actually got quite flat feet, so if I wear a pair of shoes that have got a really high arch in them, then actually they can cause my instep quite a bit of pain. And I certainly didn't get that with these shoes. However, the more that I wore them, the more that I did notice it. And certainly the way that my heel and my forefoot sunk into that boost did mean that these have got a slightly more raised arch than other golf shoes that I've tried before in the past. As I say, it's not an issue for me, but it is something that I just wanted to make you aware of. You can also see that Adidas have thought about the stability of the CodeChaos because this rubber outsole section comes up at the forefoot and the heel, both on the lateral and the medial sides as well. So it means that it is kind of compacting that boost foam in, and it's not gonna kind of wobble about too much out on the golf course. You've also got this kind of X traction system there to help give it that stability in the mid part of the shoe there. They're not the most stable golf shoes out on the market. This upper has got, you can see there, quite a lot of movement to it. But for the vast majority of golfers, if you're looking for a comfortable pair of golf shoes that have got really, really good traction, which we're gonna talk about in a little minute, as well as being nice and stable, then these are going to be right at the top of your list. Now, I did mention that outsole pattern there, and you can see here that Adidas have used the exact same outsole as the previous iteration of the CodeChaos. So you've got here this traction pattern system, and you can see the colored sections on the outsole have got a slightly kind of more durable feeling to them. They're a slightly different material compared to the rest of the rubber outsole. But I've got to say that this kind of zigzag pattern here gives you plenty of grip out on the golf course. Now, I'm always going to caveat that by saying if you want the most grip out on the golf course, then you have to buy a pair of spiked golf shoes. It pretty much is as simple as that. Spiked golf shoes will give you more grip than spikeless. That being said, if you want the versatility of the spikeless golf shoes, as well as the comfort, this is one of the best performing outsoles that you can currently buy. I was actually quite impressed with the breathability of this upper as well. I used these on one of the hottest days of the year here in the UK in 2021. And after 18 holes, my feet weren't particularly hot actually. They were a little bit hot, as to be expected, but they weren't necessarily roasting. So I didn't think that these were gonna hold up quite as well as they did in the breathability department. I was actually quite impressed with them. In terms of how they performed out on the golf course, then they didn't put a step wrong with me. I really like the comfort that you get with these shoes. I like the amount of stability, and generally I just think they look great, they feel great, and they perform great. So what more could you ask for with a pair of golf shoes? If you are thinking about buying a brand new pair of spikeless golf shoes, then why not check out my top 5 spikeless golf shoes of 2021? And if you did enjoy this video, make sure you smash that like button.